Yo, what up, what up, what up? That was a good episode, man. That was a good episode. What's up, everybody? We're just gonna hop on in because it was that good. I can't wait anymore. I mean, I'm gonna watch it again and again and again because it was fun. But here's Scotty. What's up?
What up,
I
man?
gotta,
What up,
you know,
chat?
I gotta switch the sides. I can't have the wrong
Yeah,
hairline.
yeah,
That
yeah.
shit drives me. That
No,
drives me nuts. It's that easy. Look, I could just go like this, and they'd be like, "Oh, they're switched," and then but people are lazy. What's up, man?
no.
So the first two episodes were fun, right?
Mm-hmm. I would say fun. Yeah,
I
a
would
lot of
say
people have
fun.
fun.
Yeah, the first two episodes seemed
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of fun, and then this episode gave us a bunch of information,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more, a little bit more. I
That little
think,
birdie, man.
and I didn't catch
She
her
knows some
name,
shit, Kim.
Kim. I like how
Yep.
the names are so simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Neil, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
There's no weird ass names. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. The you know the I saw another video today that was saying what exactly did they say? It was something along the lines of there were a couple videos that were saying, this doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's the typical song, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same old it's the same old song and dance. Hey, Steve, thanks. Steve has been a member since the first day, so
Oh yeah.
we like to give our members their shout outs. And then there's new levels. I want to mention this also. There's a new a perk added, I think, to the top tier level where you get to send me pictures you want me to put in for the emojis. So you
Nice,
as
nice.
the night member get to pick emojis that you want out there within reason. I can't put anything filthy out there, and I prefer to keep them Star Wars related. But hey, if you want your face in an emoji and you're a night member, let's do that shit. So,
Or if you want to suggest Kathleen Kennedy with laser eyes, you
no,
get
no,
that
she's
too.
already
I
there for you.
I
You
know.
got
I'm
it.
not
Yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah.
suggested. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. And then members,
do that.
if you have a channel and you're a member, I will also put your membership or your logo in the emoji so that you can tag yourself and others. But yeah, I don't know. I might add Neil. I really like Neil's vibe.
Neil's kind of the man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the whole episode, but there was some fun in this episode where it's like, why Neil? Why Neil? And we had some of those questions also, but I think I have some answers to why Neil. So we're gonna get into that.
Early prediction: if Wim keeps getting denied by the entire group, he's turning to the dark side ASAP. He just
Right.
keeps getting shit on by everybody.
Yeah, Wham is like, everybody hates me, right? And,
Yeah,
they kind of should. I mean, not no disrespect to the little lad, but it's his fault they're lost in space. I mean, right? It's his fault they're Goonies lost in space, Star Wars. So yeah, it's kind of his fault. So I could see
Yeah.
how everybody's pissed at him, and they don't really trust his point of view so much. So
Yeah.
I get it, but you know, so we got some more information on our Jedi friend. We learned a little bit more about him. We met a new character in the. I'm guessing
Real quick,
this...
before we dive into that, can I ask you a question about the dad, about Wim's dad?
Sure.
Do you think him like taking off the glasses in that moment? Do you think that was him like snapping the hell out of it? Like, I'm a terrible dad. Like, how did I let this happen? I worked too hard. Like, what's going through his mind in that moment where everyone's rambling on and he's like,
Well,
in his own head, basically.
Well, okay, so they lost the mom, right? We don't know how, right? But his mom died.
She's not around, yeah.
I'm gathering, right? So she passed. She passed. So I think he's like, feeling that I'm a bad dad. That how'd I lose another one? That whole vibe. But at the same time, I think he's also going like, what the F?
Yeah.
Right. I think
I
it's
felt
also
him in that moment.
an overwhelming moment where he's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on here. And I like that moment because the droids are in the background going, it's illegal to break the barrier. It's illegal to go outside. That's all I keep saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we get more information on that throughout the episode. We're hearing a little bit more of the lore. We're hearing a little bit more about this. It's an interesting there's a couple interesting things in that I really liked. But to get back to the initial point is like I don't I don't understand how this isn't Star Wars, right? I
Yeah.
always go back to this, this isn't Star Wars conversation. And maybe I'm a little mean. Maybe I'm a little, why doesn't this feel like Star Wars to me? And maybe it's me being a little exhausted with the narrative.
Hmm.
But who granted anybody and I guess I say this every show, right? Is who granted anybody supreme right to say this isn't Star Wars, right? Because why? Because there's no lightsabers, because there's no
Mm.
I mean, we have the Force. You're not satisfied with some
Hmm.
Jedi Sith Force user scoundrel action. I mean, this also goes back to the point that I've always kind of made is that, the Force isn't just for Jedi and Sith. The Force is for everybody. And just because you don't fall into their schools and their temples and their ways doesn't mean anything, right? Like, I don't know. I just feel like
I wonder too if people are like starting to kind of meme on it too, like how they were saying that Andor didn't feel like Star Wars, but it's
well, but
good. It's good TV, and I wonder if people are like, this doesn't feel like the Star Wars I'm used to because it's good.
well, I mean, I'm a little less abrasive with the the Disney era and the Star Wars we have, mainly because I go back and I just watched The Mandalorian over. I just watched literally in this like last 10 days. I've watched the Mando all 3 seasons over with the Boba Fett extras. I've watched almost all of Rebels again.
I gotta watch Rebels again. So
and
good.
and I watched Ahsoka again. And I gotta say, I haven't gone back to Kenobi, and I went back to Boba Fett for a minute, but that was more for my own selfish reasons.
Mm.
But I mean, is it the expectation? Oh, speaking of expectations, let's make sure we have his music ready. Speaking of expectations, there he is.
I updated the background for you.
Hey, there you go. Upgraded the Godfather layer. What'd you think? Let's start off there before we dive in more.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah,
have
right
that
on
in
Front Street, right out on there. There you go. Warm it
So-
up. Loosen it up. Oh yeah, there we go.
I said this on Steve's stream earlier, but I think, quite honestly, this whole setting is literally and figuratively 1984 at Atten.
Yeah,
Being that it's like set in 1984 and also like George Orwell's 1984.
yeah. 100. It's
Like,
a
holy-
100% dystopian.
Disconnected off the grid.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I don't know how far
Absolutely.
you guys dug into it, but
We haven't
We
yet.
haven't.
We haven't. We're only going off the
I'll
first
save
2 episodes, and the dad's, Scotty was feeling the dad's pain because he's like, "Oh, I'm a shitty father."
Yeah. Do you
Right?
think when he took the glasses off in the beginning, he's just like, "Fuck, like I'm an idiot. How did I
the
let
third
my
one?
kid?" Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think like they zoomed into him like he was about to go full like Liam Neeson Taken. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's
either that or he's going to get some lottery tickets. I couldn't decide.
I mean, I'd go get some lottery tickets because I mean
Mhm.
his kids are doing some crazy shit. I mean, his kids like, I found a Jedi temple. Psych! It's a giant ship that takes out half a mountain. So, yeah, it's a little on the sus side, but I gotta say I'm really digging. I know a lot of other people aren't digging the vibe as much as I am, and I feel like that's pretty right on brand.
I'm seeing crazy speculation and stuff, so I know people are enjoying the show. The theories are.
We got to go over here. All right, so Scotty requested a bit by bit breakdown. right? So we're going
We
back
used
to the
try
old.
to do stuff like that. Yeah.
We're
Well,
going to.
Scotty doesn't know. So
Scotty doesn't know, and I still didn't clip that. I got to clip that. That's gonna be a forever a clip show.
That'll be like your recap segment.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We
I
might
love
add
it,
it. We might add in
I
like
love it, actually.
whoever is like in the dark that day, right? Here, let me switch these because you guys are on the opposite side. Let's do this. There we go, and I can switch. So, it seems like just a quick recap. Watching the kids go into hyperspace might be my favorite new meme across. Just like, I'm sorry, Neil's face when they go into hyperspace is probably my favorite thing so far on the series. But you know, we were talking about how this was going to be a pirate show, right? And but it's got a Jedi feel to it, and it's not so much a Jedi feel, it's just got a scoundrel that can use the Force. I mean, that's, you know, basically the whole premise. I don't know why everybody's getting so up in arms, but you know, it is what it is. So, is that the beginning? Yeah, that's the beginning, right? So let's get the recap.
People are saying too that the dad might it's because he actually knows what the planet's secret is.
Yeah, I think that was kind of where I'm at,
Yeah.
is like, I think he knows more than he's letting on.
Yep.
Did his wife meet her end because she was going to expose? Like, is he,
Oof.
you know what I mean? Like, there's some dark, like you were saying, that 1984 vibe. So kids, just so you know, let's put this away for a second. Kids, just so you know, if you don't know what 1984 is, it's a book, right? And books are these things that had typed words on paper, and paper is made from trees, right? And they make it into pages, and then they type on these pages, and they bind these pages together, and they tell the story you read. This is also the stories they read to you on books online. So whenever you're reading something, that comes from these things called books, and you open them and you read them yourself. And so and so books, you know, it seems like, number one, there's a lost history in this place, right? Like it seems like they have their historical, you know, what do they talk about?
The freaking planet of eternal treasure.
Thank you. Right. So, but they call it something, right? They call it, what did they call it? The historical document. It's not the historical documents. They called it, Neil calls it something. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but basically they are taught, and everybody on this planet is like an analyst or like has an office job, right? Seems like security is completely 100% droid controlled, right?
Well, they don't even, the leader was like, they called it the supervisor.
Yes.
And there's no they don't even know that person's name.
Correct.
They're communicating via,
it's
what gave me like, this is George Orwell shit. Like,
well, yeah, it's got that very much Alice in Wonderland vibe, right? That very man behind the curtain kind of vibe going on, and the droids are just his flying monkeys, right? That's the vibe I get on planet at Adalan.
At
Samsonite. That was way off.
Samson. I want to talk to Samson. Okay, so we get into this and we find out. First thing we find out is that our dude last episode is a Force user. Now everybody jumps to Jedi, right? Instinctively, they're like, "Oh, he's a Jedi." The Force is everywhere. This is post-Empire, when all the Force using people were hiding the fact that they could use the Force, or they were being hidden. Could he have been one of the kids on the path that strayed and became a scoundrel, right? That was hidden during Kenobi, right? That would be a really cool callback if he was actually on the path and then just decided I'm out, or like, you know, something along those lines.
I think, given his age though, in this, like, we're probably like 7 years after the Return of the Jedi at this point, somewhere.
No, I think we're on the Mando. I think we're on the Mando timeline. I think this aligns with what's going on.
Yeah, because it has that one pirate Vance.
Mando season 1 was like 5 years.
Right, but we're deep in at this point. It's like a 7. Let's call it 7 years, because I think it's 10. But because we've advanced like a couple years here, a couple years there, so let's call it 7.
He's like 7. his age is like aligning like almost perfectly with like what Kanan Jarrus would be right now.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Kenobi,
Yeah.
Kenobi was basically the time of hiding kids on the path. That's what I'm saying. It would be cool if that we saw that kid, him as a kid
Yeah.
in Kenobi, like there was that literal callback in some way, shape, or form. That would be an interesting, way that yeah, maybe he was on the path and was trying to get to Luke's temple, but or trying to get to um, somewhere safe to be safe from the Empire, and then people got killed, and all of a sudden you're adopted by pirates, right? Ezra could have been in the same boat had Kanan not found him, right? I mean, he could have been one of Hondo's crew, like that, force using, as Hondo would say, a force using pirate Jedi, right? I mean, that's kind of what Hondo was always talking about is be a Jedi pirate. That seems like that's what dude is, right? He's just in it for the money, not caring about any of that.
Do
So
you
here's
think, not to tangent off, but do you think that that's his ship?
no.
Okay.
I think he knows what it is, though.
Okay.
I think as a a pirate, he's heard the legends, maybe because
Because I was watching it with my girlfriend, who's very casual, and she was like, "That's his ship, pretty sure." Like, why the robot was stressing the word captain over and over again, and they were calling him captain in the very beginning and stuff like that. So I went back. I was looking for droids in the background, but I couldn't find him.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think it's his ship. I think it's been buried just by the overgrowth and the
Mhm.
fact that no one on that planet knows that ship was there.
Right. Or how
and
if he crashed there, how to get off planet,
Right,
etc.,
right.
etc.
But I think he knows the legends of
Mhm.
that style of ship. Maybe remembers it from his
Heard
childhood.
other people saying that it might be a Nile ship from like High
Interesting. Well,
Republic.
it seems like I like I like how he knows everything though. Like he's like,
Mm.
oh, here's some gunner chairs, and it just pops down. Like I said, I don't. When he was like, oh, that's your ship, that's where I was kind of like, oh, I don't know about that.
Hmm.
So, again, the neighborhoods look very, very muggle, right? You probably haven't seen a force user on this planet since it was hidden.
Fern lives in the nice neighborhood too.
This is probably Fern's neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
cul-de-sac of rich people, right? So
She owns a Zune.
And Fern's parents have a very nice man.
right. So we see the parents discussing, but
Oh, stay right here.
yeah, I was gonna go to
Yo,
this
for
also.
sure. Mhm.
I like this is very interesting.
That is one of Neil's species.
Yes, but what is this mural?
You're right, exactly.
Right? Is this the mural of the planet's foundation? Is this their
It's
you
this
know-
barrier going up.
Right, that's what I mean. The barrier, it looks like the barrier. It's cloudy. It's a
I think
grid.
it's an agreement. Like some kind of agreement happens that they're gonna take themselves off grid or something.
Right, and it seems like the elephant people, like we don't see a lot of Neil's race. Now we all assume that it's the same race as Max Rebo. Everybody, little
Yeah,
Max. But is it?
No, I think people debunked that.
Right. So this is a race.
I went back to last stream, watched a little bit at the beginning, and it was all you calling him Max Rebo.
I know I like the baby Max Rebo, but after going
Don't put your crap on me.
after going a couple episodes and watching back, I mean, I went and looked for Max, and looks a little different. Unless he had some, modern moderations going on. But it seems like there's definitely something going on that mural, and if this is at the senator's house or the what did they call her? She's not a senator.
Undersecretary.
Undersecretary, yeah. Such
so-
made up titles.
It's
Right,
that's a
dude.
real one.
You know, the other thing too is even all like the bigger channels I watch are talking about the barrier. Not one of them has pointed out that like you can see these little red dots.
Yeah.
Like, am I crazy? So there are
So-
like drones in the air above the atmosphere.
Did you ever see The Last Starfighter?
Yeah, I think so. Like
Okay, so they have a barrier that is identical to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly the barrier that separates the Kodan Armada.
But no one
from,
is talking about it, and they're only even the kids, like they're only talking about like the vapor and like the
Right.
clouds.
Well, I mean, look what
No
happened when they got
one-
to space. They were like, "Holy
But you can
shit,
see
those are
that shit clear as day.
stars!"
Mhm.
Like,
yeah, that
what
was
are
like,
those? Right? So nobody's ever seen. It seems like nobody really knows that there's a galaxy out there, right? Like they are very much controlled in what they see.
Right.
Not
So
a-
at night they just can't see through it at all.
And if they do, all they see
Crazy.
are the red dots. They think
Yeah.
those are stars, right? So they've always thought those are stars. They're like, "Whoa, what are those white things?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
those are
crazy.
stars. Whoa, what are those other things?"
You said
that we're-"
planets at first too. Yeah.
right? So
Idiots.
So apparently, one of the parents, this is so 1984, that one of the parents has low jacked their kid. So, her we lost her signal on her life monitor. So one of the kids is low jacked.
Yep.
That's how 1984 this is.
Yep.
Um,
KB.
KB, right? Of course, her headgear is probably low jacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we get to, where are you? There you go. So we get to this moment where the droids finally tell them, the children are on a starship that has illegally exited the barrier. And of course, the parents lose their mind, right? The thing I think I enjoy the most about this is I don't see really any insignias on the droids. Like no Republic, no Empire, no nothing, really. They're just very basic. A droid we haven't really seen this style before. Yeah. Interesting. So we get to this point and they talk about their, about the kids leaving. And the droids seem very calloused, right? It's not just me. The droids are very like, no bedside manner, no empathy, just, very calculated, very, very a matter of fact, right? That hurts my finger. Getting bitten.
So
Okay.
yeah, she seems genuine and shocked that the ship has left.
You're talking about the elephant?
No, the mom, the Fern's mom, who's freaking out.
The undersecretary? Yeah,
Yeah.
because she feels like she's in a position of authority. What she's realizing here is she's no different than the rest of the parents. She's just given a fancy title with no authority.
Yep.
Right? She's a figurehead. She is definitely not in charge of anything, right? Oh, hi. Is the they ask, is the supervisor going to contact the Republic for help? That's another interesting statement because they expect the New Republic to help them, right? Because they've all heard that the Empire was toppled, obviously. But why don't the kids know about the war? Are they not taught about the war?
Yeah, that was very interesting when they were mentioning the Republic, and I'm like, okay, so they know what the Republic is. These X-wings have blue on them or whatever. Felt very similar to the ones we see.
Those are definitely New Republic X-wings.
Yeah,
just in the design. I mean, if we had a ship expert here, they would tell
I
you.
half expected the homie with the goatee to pop out there. What's his name?
I expected Dave Filoni to be there.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls.
Did you notice when they had like the pilot in view? It was like at the end, it was like out of focus. Like, I said to my wife, it's got to be somebody because they didn't focus on his face at all.
Interesting. No, I didn't.
I see you.
I also got to bring up that the whole captain thing. Like me and Scotty were screaming it in the chat. So I guess I wasn't alone. But I need to.
No, I don't think
about
you were.
what
the captain. We'll get there
on the stream. I was the only one. So I got something to share for when you're.
So like I said, it seems like the parents all expect the supervisor, whoever this is, that they don't have any idea this person's name. It's just the supervisor. Really? Really? Yeah, so uh, and the droid just keeps repeating the same thing. The starship's out of the barrier. The starship's out of the barrier. So is no this kind of caught me. Oh, she's not going to stop. So this kind of caught me. The parents of the KB, I get that
Yep.
right? So the parents of KB, apparently she's got medical issues. So is this going to pop up in space also? Are they going to have to find like a medic or something here come pretty soon? Because if this is something that I caught also, because I think all the parents were yelling and this kind of got brushed over with everybody yelling in the background. So that's why I want
KV's mom saying that? Or
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
her
the
saying
moms, our daughter, which is the only one that's there with another person,
it? Yeah. Oh,
you know,
Oh yeah, I saw.
right? Because the rest of them, it's like one of the parents, right? One elephant, one, Wim's dad.
If you go back a little bit, it's like the parents are sitting on the couch there, and I saw somebody posted Skeleton Crew spoilers, and then it was like a meme of Ronaldo crying, and if you click the button, it just says lesbians in all capital letters.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny.
But I mean, that's so that's what we get out of that is that is she gonna get
So
sick?
she's sick. Yo, and it's like, is Jude Law gonna have to be dad along the way here to be able to get back?
Right.
He's trying to go
right.
to Treasure Planet, but he's got to keep all these damn kids alive to get there.
And again, this is Fern's mom, basically asserting her lack of power and realizing her lack of power at this point, and that this is all more than what they think it is. And I think that's kind of what the dad is also. We're gonna get right to his moment right here. Here it is. This is what Scotty was talking about.
Yeah, they did this for a reason.
Yeah.
And then that's all the droid keeps repeating, right? The only thing the droid's not saying anything else about this or that. The only thing the droid is saying is travel outside the barrier is forbidden. And then he keeps saying that over and over and over, no matter what they say. It's
Basically,
just
this planet just has Apple intelligence. That's all we got.
yeah.
And this guy is a systems coordinator, so he definitely knows a lot about like every system that is, balancing what they're actually doing.
Right. So, I mean, that just in the intro, there's so much in that little scene just with the people agreeing to whatever deal they made for this sovereignty, because it seems like they're completely sovereign, right? It seems like they think they report to the Republic, but they really don't, right? So the citizens have been told the tales of the Jedi, been told the tale of Luke Skywalker defeating the Rancor, told, all these stories, but it seems like they're cut off.
That was the thing too. The kid freaking name drops what Alderaan and what was the other
Alderaan
place?
and Coruscant.
Coruscant.
And he's like, wait a minute, Alderaan's gone. Did you miss the war? Anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I think the entire society, Maximus thinks the entire society at Aden are descendants of the pirates that discovered that planet back in the day. The kids are completely ignorant to the rest of the galaxy. They want, okay. Matt says he's totally lame and going to bed. Oh yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, look, that is an interesting concept that maybe pirates actually discovered that planet and then were kicked out, and then this barrier. It just there's so much. Okay,
I like
so let's see. So we get back to our prison and the breakout. Is there anything in the breakout we need to cover? Right? I mean, really, it's just a jailbreak, right?
No, yeah. Pretty straightforward.
Easiest Star Wars stand-up prediction I ever made.
What, the breakout?
The kids break out of their cell.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing they really argue about is if he's a Jedi and why he didn't get out by himself. We all, he gives a great answer. He's like, where am I going to go? I got no ship, right? All these guys want me in jail. I got no ship. So
kind of where I ended up at before the episode too.
Yeah. So, Jod, stupid ass name. Just saying. I'm gonna complain one thing. His name is stupid. All right, so let's get past the jailbreak because the jailbreak, other than them making him go back for the droid.
Do you think maybe that was like his Padawan name, and then all of a sudden it became Crimson Jack Silva or whatever?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get there. Okay. So he recognizes it looked like he recognized the ship, but at the same time, he's like, that's the face he made. Like he was taking a poopy. Like he just pooped his pants. He's like, not that thing. Ew. Like I just shit my pants and that's still gross. Right. Like, so it seems like he wasn't a fan of the ship, but granted, it does have like an old, you remember in Charlie Brown how Pigpen always had this little cloud of like dust around him? That's what this ship has.
Yes.
Like every time it jumps into hyperdrive, it's like, poof!
That's hilarious.
So yeah, he's not a fan. They talk about the droid. They rescue the droid. Okay, we're at the breakout. Obviously his homie betrays him, right? He says, sit down for some tea, and he betrays him. Okay, so they break out. I like dog. I like
Me
wolf
too.
Wolf
Yep.
dog guy. He is.
See,
cool. Maximus says he knows that ship. Yeah, I think he knows. I think he doesn't know that exact ship, but I do think that he knows that class of ship. Even though he asks the droid what kind of ship it is, I think he's plain dumb. Oh, you think that's his dagger? Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I think he was like young underneath the helmet.
So you think time has gone by since Dogman took over?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. So they put a bounty on his head. They're working on the droid. Okay. So this is where you guys feel like the droid is addressing him as captain.
Oh, you think pirates are going to wait like years to give him a trial?
That's what I think. I don't think so. I think it's off to
Oh,
off to
yeah,
the
you're right.
fishes.
He was caught.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I think it's some cement boots and off the plank with your matey, right? Like it's not.
Yeah.
Pirates aren't known for their long justice, fair trials.
True.
So I do. Okay, so here's what you guys were talking about. I do feel like this is him just checking out, scavenging the ship. That's why I don't really think it's his. Like, is he looking for something in particular? It just seems like.
Was this where they show we see a B-1 battle droid?
No,
that was later on in the episode.
No, that was earlier. That was when he
That
picked
was
up
hilarious.
SM-33. It just fell apart. It's like,
Did we win?
So he's looking at shoes, and then we get to this. So you think this is his dagger?
That was not my theory, but I like the theory.
Darth Maximus.
Darth Maximus, you think
Are
that's
you not entertained?
his dagger? I mean,
And this is their ship he's walking around on, right?
Yeah, this is their ship.
Yeah.
Because the kids found the skeletons when they first got on the ship.
So I'm saying, why is he taking
a little weird?
Why is he taking a nice long look into this guy's eyes like he knows him?
I think it's more of like what happened to you, right? I don't see that. I see this more as a like, what happened to you, my friend? Right? Like he touches the
what
knife.
If it's like Chester Copperpot and he actually knows who that guy might have been?
I mean,
pirate wise,
maybe. Like I don't know.
That's like
that's Davy
Blackbeard.
Jones, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think if anybody in the show at all though is like qualified for this, like you can actually take cues off of Jude Law because he's probably the only bona fide really good actor in the show.
Oh yeah, I mean the only one we've seen so
Mhm.
far. Well, you don't think Jaleel White is a good actor? What the hell, man? He's a great actor, man.
Like I don't see him.
Did you see his basketball skills as Urkel, man? Come on, bro. He could ball. Yeah, so he kind of taps it and the way it almost seems like he's looking for like identifying marks, right? I don't feel like this is like, oh, my old friend Blade, I have slayed many men with you. I can't believe I forgot you back here on this ship that's I've been there for 100 years, right? Yeah, so he sheaths it, no biggie, I don't think. But then the pirate robot comes around. So this is the moment you think that he's elongating the word captain.
Or just the way he was addressing him, I guess, was maybe leading me down that line. But
I thought it was a missed opportunity. It's like looking for something. You should be like, yeah, your mother.
Yeah. Your mother was a snowblower. Anybody? Chat? Anybody? No?
no.
No Johnny Five? No Short Circuit? No.
Oh,
Your mother was a snowblower. Okay.
That show had like the shortest shelf life of
Age check.
popularity.
What show?
Or like they had like 3. How many were there? It was like 3.
Three. I think 3. I think they did a
But
trilogy.
it's like just such a distant memory. Like it had.
Oh
no...
yeah, it's such an 80s movie. Such an 80s movie that deserves a remake, not a remake, but deserves a 4th act.
Yeah.
Of them like
that would
finding
be awesome.
Of them like finding Johnny Five boxed up in a warehouse somewhere like the old Knight Rider, right? And then they bring him out to New York and he has his
we need to stop doing this.
No, that is the perfect use of that.
Gladiator 2 made no reason.
Oh, I couldn't
We
even.
just stop it.
But again, like you're saying, Short Circuit is such a cult classic that I think you could bring it back and it would be okay because it doesn't have the following of like Gladiator that was made in the modern age, right? Those are movies from the literal 80s, like the Stone Age of fucking movies. So I like that he keeps addressing this droid as like, go clean my quarters, go clean, here, clean this cup, right? Like he keeps addressing this droid as if he's a servant. And I love that this droid's personality is like, yeah, you can fuck off.
Like he smacks the cup off.
Even right here, he tells him, he's like, you should really clean this place up. And he's like, he doesn't even phase him, right? So he asks him who he is. And then they kind of, bow up to each other. I like that. I like how he just gets taller.
Trying to think he says something about not trusting droids too. And the
right.
only other character I remember having that deep of like distrust for droids is Mando.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
But Kanan, it was clones for obvious reasons.
Okay, so he tells him to mark his words.
He got dad poked.
Yeah, right. He poked him right in the chest, and I bet you that finger hurt because it's a
they're
metal
bringing
finger.
That back from the 80s too,
as they should. He looks at it. He's like, "Man, that hurt. Did he make me bleed? That was mean." And then he comes back, just to give him a little bit, like, I see you, motherfucker.
My wife, the SM33 thing went totally over her head. I'm like, it's me, because she's like,
yes.
What? Does that thing just live in his eye? Like it's me. That's supposed to be like his eye patch, and she's like, oh.
Well, yeah. I caught that right away too. Captain Hook.
So yeah, so they go on to talk about, the kids are starting to figure it out. They're like, well, what does your mom do? She's an analyst, and what does your dad do? Well, he's a da 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 da. And so everybody's got a real boring job, and then little dude right here kind of figures out, where is your treasure fingers? Come on, where are your treasure fingers? Right there. So this is where they're kind of figuring out. I mean, they only had like 2 or 3 credits that they showed the pirates, and they were all like swooning over these credits.
Yeah.
They've got piles of them, literally they've got like 2 piles of them right there. It seems like they're starting to figure out that maybe the treasure that everybody's talking about is they were maybe a stronghold for like a safe, right? Like where all the credits. Like remember in I want to say it was Solo, but it wasn't. Where they're boosting, yeah, maybe it was Solo. Where they're boosting an entire freighter of credits.
Yeah.
Like
It wasn't
the whole
credits, so
It was coaxium.
coaxium. But there's another it's somewhere, I don't know if it was in Rebels, where they're literally stealing an entire freighter of like credits.
That was the new game too, I think, Outlaws.
Right.
There
and
was like a big heist in that.
And it seems like these were places the old Republic. No, I don't think it was. Yeah, it might have been Andor. It might have been Andor. Yeah. It was, because that was the big score before he got arrested on the beach for just being a bystander.
Yeah.
And then he went back for his treasure. So yeah, thank you. It was Andor, where they stole an entire, and this is right at the beginning of the Empire, right? So maybe they were starting to transport all of those credits from these places, right? And we'll get to that. But the kids are starting to realize this planet has more, it's more to do with, like the pirates are saying, like treasure. And then they hide it from Jod. Did I get that right? I want to call him John. Yeah, so kids being kids, they fight the nap, they take the nap. One of the kids is like, hey, KB is like, I don't trust you. You suck. Something's up. And then we get to our, yeah, she's dogging him.
Bro, kid was like, I'm not even tired. And then,
yeah, that's what I mean.
seconds
Kids be
later,
kids,
hilarious.
like, I'm not tired. And then 10 minutes later, you're face planted in the,
Yeah.
right. Okay. So we get to a moon again, Star Wars. So, all moons have atmosphere apparently. So there's something else for the grumblies to complain about is another moon. So we hear this voice and we see this little claw come out, and she obviously called the cops on him. Not cool. Not cool, birdie lady. How are you just going to call
work at McDonald's?
Right.
Yo, so if she's not a callback to Ogra from the Dark Crystal and that massive contraption that she builds to locate the crystal, I'm telling you, I don't know what is, because this chick, she had all the ominous like things hanging from the wall. The floor was even spinning. Like, I don't know.
She
was cool.
She gave me Maz Kanata vibes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, she gave me Maz Kanata vibes also.
Yep.
Which that character could have been a lot more, made the story actually fun.
And then in this one scene,
I still think they could do Tales of the Jedi for Maz Kanata and how she got Luke's lightsaber. That's what I want to.
Yeah, that whole conversation they have with her in this scene is insane.
Yeah, so we get into this. Nobody trusts you, whatever. And so we finally we go into this and we see that there are just star maps and telescopes everywhere, right? I mean, they're walking around. And then we finally get a glimpse of our funny voice. And it's a cute little owl, basically.
Yeah, basically
an owl. But this little creature here has got a map of every star in the galaxy and hyperspace lanes. So this little owl, Kim, is the one that's going to try to get these kids to Adelan.
Wait, can you go back? What did she say she has?
She
says specifically she has every single.
Yeah, she says she has
map.
every single star map. You little devil. There's a big reveal. So she asked if there was 1,000 planets, and she's like, "Oh no, there's so much more than that."
Yeah.
And then she mentions, come on, say it. So they call him Jack, but his name is Jod.
Yeah, and that was another callback to comics, because Captain Jack is a character in Star Wars Marvel Comics who confronts Han Solo and is a pirate. So maybe he just steals the name.
Okay,
But
so
you
this
keep
is
jumping around. But anyway, she
I know
says
I keep
every star map. The reason I bring that up is because in the High Republic, like that was what they were doing in the High Republic, was mapping out all the hyperspace lanes. So I don't know.
I thought it was before we saw her.
No, it's like right here, right coming up.
There it is.
She's got maps for every star in the galaxy. Pretty impressive collection there, lady.
So then he tells what she's looking for. She freaks out. Everybody freaks out, right? So we get
Then she
in.
pulls that whole. She
Well,
pulls the
I wanted
scroll.
yeah, and she says something. Let's see.
Yeah,
She's
astrogenation problem.
okay.
Astrogation problem.
Planets of wonder were kept hidden for their protection. So here is a, and again, I think
Someone's got to
To the
translate all
left,
that.
does that look like what was on the wall? Like
no,
the
that's kind of
bottom,
what I was
or-
getting at. It looks very
Yeah.
similar, right? Now I'm sure somebody is going to translate all of this in Arabic eventually. But these worlds were kept hidden, and then long ago they were all destroyed except for one. I'll go back. Right?
I
They're
could stare at this all day. I'm sorry.
So,
Do they not look like? Do they not look like the Fifth Element?
yes, they do very much so. But they also look like planets. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how planets are structured. So
This plot is easily like more like interesting than the majority of any series they put out so far. And it's just wild that it's in this like supposed to be a kid show.
Who are those old Republic witches?
Like,
In the
like
left.
honestly, like every show we've watched so far, have you been
Mhm.
like this like intrigued by what's going on? Like,
Well,
it's a
I mean, I
Spider-Man
was.
guy
I
to
mean,
do it.
I was this intrigued when they left our galaxy in Ahsoka. So
But even just this like
old Republic stuff is hype.
yeah.
All the old Republic stuff.
well, but again, I mean, this is why I'm going to say. I mean, my big hot take really is that I don't think Acolyte is over. I don't think it was ever over. I think it's just a.
Sound like a notebook right now.
I just don't think it's over, man. I just don't. They're pushing too much High Republic shit for it to be over. Like I can't see them just doing one run of that and being done. It was too good. It was too good. Like and there's so much of this kind of stuff. This hidden planet, this hidden. It just there's so much
the
of
new
this.
lore.
So they mentioned that this was kept secret, for. And then long ago, which is, again, this is probably during the Empire, they were all destroyed except for one, which is obviously Adelan. Now, there's no maps. And, oh, it's Kim.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Okay, so for their protection, Adelan. Okay, so she mentions they're the map, right? And
They
of course,
said old Republic credits.
right.
Yeah.
Well, they said Old Republic, but we're all assuming that's just the Republic, right? The
I'm assuming that they mean old Republic. Like that's an ancient coin. That's like finding,
Or at least the press to make the coin.
well, that's what I mean. Maybe the style is old, but it, I don't
He
know.
was like, "Where'd you get a mint Old Republic coin?" So
Right.
for my thought process was like, this is very, very old credits.
Right, but then we looked at the logos on them, and they match the or the Galactic Republic, not the Old Republic. So I don't know.
For these guys, that is the older Republic. So
Right, that's what I mean. Before the Empire, for a lot of people. So we get into this. They start talking about the planet, their planet, and she starts asking all these questions about the barrier. Um, like how there's nothing exciting about their planet. And then right here is what you were talking about, how they mention.
Because they said in school they learned about Coruscant and Alderaan.
Right.
missed the war, did you?
Yeah.
Right. And she's like,
But
okay.
does that mean it was a nearby planet?
Any
She asked
nearby planets. And then
And
in school we learned about Coruscant and Alderaan, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're close by.
Right.
Right. And then, we get the joke.
And why only those two planets were they taught about?
Right. So, she starts laughing. Alderaan, I guess you missed the war, right? So
Yeah.
there's all of this idea that they learned about the current, and I use that in the original Star Wars, the current Alderaan and Coruscant. Coruscant being around for 1,000 years, that could still be the Old Republic. Alderaan, I don't know how long Alderaan had been around. If it was part of the old Republic, the High Republic era, but we know Coruscant was. So this could still lead into your theory that this was a High Republic era planet, right? I mean, because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So then they ask, what war? So they have no inkling about the the Empire at all. The Empire, what world in the entire galaxy has not heard, if not been touched by the Empire?
Earth.
Right.
Earth. So they ask about the war. Okay, that's what it was. The Great Work is what they call it. So that we're supposed to stay inside the barrier. What does a barrier look like? Nebula gases. Now, she gets that based on what Neil says, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see it at night. It's cloudy. She gets to nebula gases. So they're down to 10,000 worlds.
Oh, this shit was weird. This Star Wars sentence that she says right here.
Yeah, this kind of to me, this had a Stargate feeling to it. The address having 8 symbols plus the one in the middle felt very Stargatey to me.
Yeah, those are like runes too.
Right. I mean, okay, so I've seen Palmar-ish numerals used. Okay. What is that word?
Yeah, right.
Anybody Google that?
Palmarish numerals used in proto artifacts. Yeah, I don't know. Made up Star Wars word, maybe?
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, no. Welcome, Star Wars Politics. Star Wars Politics says, what are your thoughts that Attilan, Adadan, could be a planetary counterfeit operation, laundering fake credits manufactured in their minds, hidden by society. They all work in finance. Okay. I like it. What is Parlmash? What is that? Anybody? Bueller? Google?
No, I did it. I did the Google thing. Got nothing. Unless I can't
Sounds like
spell
Star
it.
Wars slang to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tapping on my Star Wars Santa points.
So it's like a specific type of numeral, she said, that never used in Proto-Republic artifacts. So is this like a missing link?
Proto.
Oh, we're
Oh,
going
shit.
deep, chat. We're going deep.
Oh yeah, we're going deep.
Getting that real-
Proto is a state of administrative jurisdiction that is organized and has some autonomy, but is subordinate to the central government. So,
like the Men in Black.
I mean, that's kind of exactly what we've been saying, is that this is administrative judication that is organized and has some autonomy, but is subordinate to a central government. Huh. Interesting.
So it's like the billions of dollars that we can't account for from the Pentagon.
Sure.
These are the subcontractors.
You don't really think it takes $80,000 to make a toilet, do you?
$20,000 for a hammer. We'll cross-reference this with the Jewel of the Old Republic. So
all I do is come here and talk in references.
again, we go back to this a Gold Republic, right? We go back to this Old Republic again. What is the Jewel of the Old Republic?
The jewels of the Old Republic, where all those
Oh!
planets that she was mentioning.
She made it.
Oh, she.
Oh, you. Oh man,
A wild sheep has appeared.
a wild sheep has appeared. Get your Pokeballs out.
Gotta catch them all.
Did you get sunburned today? Did you get some sun today?
It might just be my lighting. I don't.
Oh man, you look.
Or I'm embarrassed and enjoyed that episode too much. Maybe that's why.
You're looking a little red there.
A little bit.
You might be singing a different tune, huh?
Now you're definitely making me red.
Okay, so she wants to cross references with the Jewel of the Old Republic, right? Okay, and okay, so here's a more planet in. Oh, so she is.
It's like a hockey logo.
Well, like this is
It's Justice League. There's
if
the
you
J and
take
the L.
if you take this line right here and just put a circle on top instead of the line, that is basically the symbol for home in Stargate. So like this gives me that whole Stargate vibe. But she's kind of doing her thing, doing her computer thing. And she thinks she has it. So again, so this dude has like 4 names. Right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Jihad, Jack, Crimson Jack,
Silvo.
I'm sure, it's Captain Silvo, right? Like
I think it's 2. So I think Jod might have been like his I'm
Jack.
sticking with the Padawan theory. I think that
Yep.
might have been like his Padawan name, but then Crimson Jack Silvo is his pirate name.
So my
Tie those together.
my question was he part of Crimson Dawn?
That's a good question.
Is that why they call him Crimson Jack?
Hmm.
Right? Was he
I think he stole the moniker.
Or he killed one.
Well,
From,
since he's not a Jedi. He said, well, we don't know that for sure. He could have
Well,
been a Padawan, but he's not a full-fledged Jedi.
or he could have been
Crimson-
on the path. See, that's my hook, is that this is one of the kids from the path.
I mean, crimson could be the color of a blade too, but it's probably not likely. That's just me.
No,
Thinking
that's
he
you.
was
Here,
Crimson.
hold on. I don't know if you know, but you're just reaching for it, bro. Just reaching.
Sometimes.
If he'd have had a lightsaber, we'd have seen it already.
Hey man, you said Crimson Dawn. That's rude.
Well, I mean, scoundrels and pirates. I mean, that's pretty.
No, I know,
we know Kira might still be around at this point. I mean,
Maybe he was like even younger than like Kanan, like he didn't earn a lightsaber yet.
yeah. That's I mean,
'Cause at his age though, he would have been discovered. Like as a
you would
Force
think
user.
so.
Yeah.
So she's trying to give the kids the warning. He's a scoundrel. He'll betray you. Yada yada yada. She tells the little girl, if you need anything, come back. Okay, great. And then we see some X-wings, which is, where are you at? as soon as we get out here.
Sheep, you missed the part. Like, I didn't even see this when I first watched it. We were talking about how Geordie LaForge Jr.'s mother's, like, talk about how she's got an urgent medical condition. Like, when they're in the first part of the show. I think we all missed it.
I think that went over my head too. That could explain our implant thing, or the cybernetics.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, that's kind of where my mind was. Is this why she has cybernetics, and is the cybernetic going to run out of juice, right? Or is it going to run out of, whatever supplement it could be injecting? So it could be more than just a toy,
Oh, it's definitely not a toy.
Well, I mean, like, technology, the kids get things, right?
I was talking about it on my channel. Those aren't that's an implant. Like that those
That's
literally need
That's
those
a modder.
Yeah.
It's almost like one of the modders from
That's
from
what
Boba.
I was kind of pointing out though. I'm like, the fact that they had to do this to they did this to a little girl, like there's got to be a reason. You don't just implant cybernetics into a little girl.
Right. And that's when her parents said, yeah, they only mentioned it. It's that she is that their daughter is sick, the two moms of KB. So it seems like she's got an illness that we're going to hear more about later. So we get to this point where we see the X-Wings fly by. These are obviously New Republic era X-Wings, even in the uniform at the end. But the most important thing that happens here is the standoff. And the fact that the kids want to know what's up, right? They're standing off. They're, the little girl uses a droid, hey, we need some security down here. This guy's not allowed on the ship. And then we get the truth. He finally tells him. He doesn't really tell him that he's not a Jedi, but he kind of
he never said he was.
Yeah, he never said he was. He kind of let them allude to it. Wim gets
dresses like one.
Wim gets his panties in a twist because he wants him. He's a gullible fool. And then Jack Jingleheimer Smith. It goes on this thing about how he's lost too. That's kind of what makes me think maybe he was on the path. And that, maybe one of the kids from the path, his mom or dad, whoever was raising him, died. He kind of, instead of, Mando gets Mandalorians, this dude got pirates, right? This dude got a Boba Fett upbringing, basically, right? And was kind of raised by pirates. That's the vibe I'm getting. And that none of the pirates know he has the Force. I don't think anybody knows he has the Force, except for these four little rugrats. So they want the same thing. And then the big end, basically the end thing is, for me in this, is that is she the smartest one on the crew? Guys, is she the smartest one?
Easily.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Cheating.
depending on actual things to be smart about. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like, which theory are we talking about, Maximus?
For a fifth grader?
Sure. The path. Yeah, I think he was on the path. Well, she seems like the smartest one in the room, including smarter than old guy Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Listen, her mother's needed a donor. So
that's an awful theory. Who came up with this theory? That's an awful theory. That's an awful theory. I'm sorry. That's not an awful theory. That's a great thing. I just want proof. That's a great theory. I just want proof. And are you going off of Kenobi talking about having a brother once upon a time? Is that going to be the connection here?
Interesting.
Wouldn't he be like super old? But then Kenobi only got
Actually,
like super.
Kenobi aged quicker because he was.
Yeah, because Maul electrocuted him in the desert or Mace Windu electrocuted him in the desert during the fight. And that's how he got old, man. Kenobi.
You age quicker on.
It wasn't the two sons in the desert.
No. He wore a scarf and a helmet. No, he's fine. Okay, so let's say Melvin. Melvin is 0. Okay. So yeah, she's the smartest one in the world. Or she's the smartest one in the room, and now the Force pirate works for them. Uh, yeah, and then we get a cool space battle with some new age X-wings.
Anybody else find it funny when Maz Kanawha told them, like, if you need me, just call me. Like, I got your number. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell are
yeah.
we
Like I'm
talking
just gonna
about
be
right
like,
now?
"Hey Kim, what's up, girl? Yeah, I'm having some problems out here in the Outer Rim."
So I've said that to plenty of girls too. Like, great job. Like,
This is what you were talking about earlier. Rely on a droid; they'll let you down every time.
yeah.
So there's that distrust of droids.
Yeah, I'm saying the only other character I know
Correct.
had that distrust would be like Din Djarin.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like who else they might try to parallel it with.
Boba was raised by bounty hunters, by the way. Not to
Pirates,
same thing.
pirates,
Same
bounty
thing.
hunters. I mean, aren't you picking threads there?
Yeah, just a
Are
little
we
bit.
kind of pulling at threads there? Bounty hunter,
But-
scoundrel, pirate. I mean, the only difference between a pirate and a bounty hunter is that the bounty hunter goes after people for their treasure. I mean,
Well, yeah, they get paid.
yeah, pirates just steal shit. I mean, potato, tomato, clamato.
Fair enough.
I don't know. So they talk about jump window, and then I love how it's Neil.
Oh, it was amazing.
I love how it's Neil that flies the ship, right? I love that.
Because he's adorable. And
Why? Because it's hilarious. And I love how the other kids have a shit fit. Neil? Neil?
Yeah, whim.
Now, yeah, Wim is like, what? And then Fern is like, but I'm the captain. I get to fly, right? And so they have this huge argument. And then I understand why Jack Jingleheimer Smith here does what he does, right? Because Neil's kind of a passive, right? Neil's not going to want to shoot X-Wings, whereas these two jerks are itching to shoot something, right? Fern is like, I get to shoot something, yeah!
I
Right?
was thinking about it too. Like, they don't even know what X-Wings are. Like,
No!
they've seen it. Yeah.
They don't have any idea. He's like, shoot them. And they're like, okay.
Mhm.
Right?
Terrible shots, by the way, too. That was way better when I was a kid.
Yeah, right? It's
And the
that,
X-wing pilots were just like, yeah, we couldn't get too close because of the kids. Like they
Right,
weren't
but-
concerned at all about being shot at.
but I totally understand Jod's logic here, right? Is that Neil's not going to want to shoot anything. So he's like, here, you sit here and like just evade. And what better person to put in a seat than somebody who has never flown a starship to go just fly around? Like nobody's going to expect movements like he's doing, right? Because he's like, oh shit, right? There's no pattern there. Like, you know, X-wing pilots get trained on formation and like all that dogfighting shit, right? They're not expecting a 5-year-old to be driving, right? So it's like, how are you going to shoot him?
Plus, his trunk is filled with iron. Gives you direction. It's like a compass.
So I like how he knows all about like, oh, look, there's a gunner chair. Hop in, right? He just knows everything about this ship already. But again, they put these two in these chairs. This kid is literally like swooning to get in that chair.
Yeah,
I mean,
he just knows.
he got his first boner, right? Right here. He got his first boner right there, right?
Hey,
That's
Neil
what-
did. Talk about it.
That's what's going on here, right? I mean, look at that face, right? Like Sheev couldn't even handle it. He had to get out of there. His face is so red right now, he couldn't even handle it. So we get,
Redder and redder.
I know, right? So we get to this point, and again, it's like,
He's leaning back.
it's like, oh man,
okay,
we're gonna
stop.
get doxxed for this one. One of the kids actually shoots
Shooting
the
at these
X-wing.
X-wings, and somewhere the disembodied voice of Palpatine's just like, good.
Good. And then they're arguing about who shot him, right? And then they jump. No big deal. I like this. I like
Is
how
this
he
the only time the dude's in focus?
yeah. So I like how he lands and he gets out and the owl's like, "Oh man, what happened? You let him go." And then meanwhile, he's smoking right? They got
Mhm.
so close to shooting him in the face that he is like literally smoking from something that's in the back close by on fire.
Either that or he's like, I'm so hot.
Either that or, oh man, I'm so high. Don't forget to bring a towel. Oh man, oh guys, I think I got it. What's that,
What?
Towley? You got the code? No, man, I got the beat to funk it down.
So what kids? What are we talking about?
Oh, what kids? Too risky with the kids inside. No, dude, you just got beat by 5-year-olds. That's all. You just got outpiloted by an elephant 5-year-old, and you just got almost shot down by 2 kids that have never shot a blaster in their lives. That's what happened. Not too risky. This dude's copping out, right? This dude's like, I couldn't do it. I'd have shot the kids. Meanwhile, everybody's like, he got his ass kicked by a 5-year-old. I'm just saying. I don't know if anybody heard that on comms.
I think you can see them hit at one point the ship though. They hit him with like a stun.
They hit one of the engines on the left side. Yeah, the front engines.
The cope
Like
is
sparking like a
strong
stun.
with this one.
I mean, I kind of feel like if you're on Santa's surveys, questionnaire, poll, whatever you call them, does this count as a non-pirate being shot and stunned non-lethal? I think so.
Damn it!
I think that's it because
I said no for that one. Stop giving him ideas.
Technically, an X-wing and a person flying in an X-wing is a non-pilot.
is it non-pirate? Yeah, being
Pirate,
shot
sorry.
and stunned, and he wasn't stunned, but he got shot by a lethal, just didn't get lethaled. So I think that's a W for those guys. I think that might be the equalizing question on Santa's survey this week. So I'm just saying.
That's great. That's hilarious.
And then
My wife got all hyped. She's like, wait, this is another planet, right? I'm like, nope, it's moon. Shut up.
a moon with atmosphere, because every planet and moon have atmosphere, including the one that Zeb and Callus crashed on, Geonosian moon. That has atmosphere too. I don't know if you guys knew that. Another thing that Star Wars messed up. Every planet and moon have atmosphere. Fucking losers.
Yeah, no nuts and bolts here.
And then the pilot asks, where they're going, and she's like, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you."
What if
And that
she
was the
like
end.
that?
So I didn't know, and I don't know if I mentioned this last stream. I didn't know that John Watts directed Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know
I
that.
told you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was watching him the other day, and
It's
it came to
Star Wars.
credits, and I'm like, "Holy shit, John! No wonder this show's fucking amazing, because it's the Amazing Spider-Man guy.
You know,
Get the fuck out of here!"
Alfred Molina was voicing in this.
Who was
The
he
guy
voicing?
that Doc Ock. He voiced I think the pirate that he was talking to when he was taking the parts.
Oh,
No, the guy with the green eyes. that
Oh
kinda
yeah, I meant
stand
to
up a
stop.
little bit.
Like, did he kill that dude or what?
No, he reported him. Oh, he might
No,
have.
like,
I think
like,
yeah.
Probably.
I'm gonna say yes because he's awful.
They just take that off screen. Like,
I mean, I would have
put.
put for a kids show. I would have at least wanted to see it. You know what I mean?
After what they showed us the first episode, first like 20 seconds, like come on.
Right. So what's the vibe on this?
I'm
I really
solid.
like it.
Yeah. It's
You don't
fun.
like it?
No, he says I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought he did.
Yeah, no, I love the show. The
think
Old Republic
aside-
lore is hype.
Aside from Andor, this is like the best stuff they've done.
Now, is it just the best aesthetically? Is it the best story wise?
Story. The
Is
story
it
is actually like
timing?
there's intrigue. It's pacing is perfect. You've got good actors in it, and
But it doesn't feel like Star Wars, does it?
what doesn't
It
feel like
does.
Star Wars?
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
bait.
exactly.
It's
No,
just
he's,
bait.
he's just throwing the bait. I get
It's
it.
just bait.
Um,
I'm just going off what I see in the on all of the
Like
YouTube.
even you messing around like with the atmosphere on the moon, like that is Star Wars. That's what they do.
Exactly, but that's also why relativity doesn't come into effect in hyperspace. That's why
Yeah.
laser swords and blaster bolts and never having to reload your blaster. Like, I understand it's Star Wars. I'm tired of hearing people say stupid shit like that.
Is it
Right.
Troll in the dungeon?
Oh yeah, trolling. Is there a troll in here? Who's
No,
trolling?
You.
No, I am not, but I'll give it to you.
And and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it.
Yeah, I'm trolling a little bit, but you know what? That's just because it's been an entire year, right? It's been an entire year, and all I hear is the continuous crying coming from a large portion of the fandom, right? And again, I say this every time we have a show come out. The fandom does not feel the way that the negative outlook on YouTube and Twitter gives us. I go out into the Muggle world and people are like, did you watch Acolyte? Oh my God, it was so great. And then same thing, go out into the world today. Did you see, oh, you have a Star Wars shirt on. Oh, did you watch Skeleton Crew? Man, that's such a cool show, right? Like, I don't understand why if you don't have a laser sword or a Grogu or some Beskar, it's not real Star Wars. Like, I don't get it. I mean, Andor basically gave us the story of the building of the Death Star, and that wasn't enough.
It was a different kind of Star Wars story. Like, it was Star Wars, but it's
Dark.
a different shade.
It was dark.
It was more realist Star Wars.
Honestly, Acolyte was
But
supposed to be the dark show we got, and I think Andor was the darkest show they've given us.
Acolyte was nothing that they promised to be. Like, it was supposed to be basically.
I went
like,
on a whole rant already.
Yeah.
If we need to do this,
It was supposed to be a narration like from the side of the Sith, and we got narration from the side of the Jedi with the guy that said he wasn't Sith, and it was just like,
Well, but who gave us that narrative?
I would say, who told us we were getting a narrative of the Sith? We were told it was going to be a Sith centric show.
Yeah,
which
so
to go on my whole rant,
it
it did not deliver on that in the first season. 100%. There were
100%.
elements of Sith, but it did not deliver on it being a Sith centric show in the first season. That doesn't mean it wasn't going to be a Sith centric show. Y'all just didn't give it fucking time to be a Sith centric show.
Well, yeah, I agree. I don't think you gave it the legs in the first season to do anything.
No.
I mean, you have to introduce the storyline. It can't just be like, here's a couple Sith, we're gonna follow them and do a reality show on the Sith, right? I agree with what KG thinks. KG says, I find it funny how the trolls think saying Shill over and over somehow hurts our widow fee views. You can call me a Shill. I'm cool with it. I mean, I am not the quintessential Shill, I guess, because I don't get sent boxes from Disney, right?
No.
I don't get Shill merch. I don't get boxes from Disney. I don't get to go meet Dave Filoni and Leslie Headland before Acolyte. I don't get invited to screeners with the Disney personnel. So you could call me a Shill. I appreciate it. I wear the badge willingly. But I'm not quite Shill, on the top of the Shill list because I don't get invited to the premieres. So
like when I think on it, I feel like Headland like just broke like the cardinal rule that I hear a lot of people like rant about. It's like, make the show, shut the fuck up.
but that's what this show did, and I think that's what
Rodriguez. It's all thriller. No.
Oh yeah.
Filler, shut up. And then
Oh yeah.
the two most popular ones you can think of, like if in my mind right now, right? Actually, three. Throw Andor in there too. Mando. Did you hear all that much from like Filoni and
No.
Favreau until after it was created?
No.
They let
You didn't
everybody
hear
see it.
anything because
Exactly.
they wanted it to be a secret.
Well, the first season for sure, it was completely under the hat. Nobody knew about it. But the second and third season, all they did was the panels. They didn't let their directors just go rampant.
Right. And then Andor, the guy's not talking about it because he just wants to make a story. He's not even like a Star Wars.
Oh, not to mention those are two of the best storytellers in modern movies.
And then this guy, John Watts, you didn't even know it was him.
I didn't
until
even know he did Spider-Man, man. I watched it the other day and I was like, oh, this is amazing. No wonder it's amazing.
They gave the synopsis. They shut the fuck up.
Well,
It's like,
and yes,
enjoy it if you want to, not, don't.
this is absolutely the blueprint they should be using. Don't
Yeah.
let your directors go on social media. Don't let your actors go on social media. Do the press junkets.
Even then, limit the press stuff. Like
No, do the press junkets.
limit how much. When did you hear John Watts ever talk about this show? Ever,
No,
other than their
but I'm
own
saying-
reporting stuff on StarWars.com? You almost never did.
You see Jude Law doing these interviews.
Sure, you can let the
do
actors
the
100%.
junkets, right? Do the junkets, do the press
100%.
junkets. but
the
give them a
actors also
script.
know what they can't talk about. what
Exactly.
they-
Give them a script. These are points that are off topic. Say next question or no comment. These are the subjects that you can follow. But I think just telling the directors, go direct and go shut up is the best way to do it. Let somebody like Jude Law, who has been in the press a million years now, and let him do what he does and make people excited for the show, right? Get all the women out there that are like, oh my God, Jude Law is so beautiful. And then their kids are watching, and then it's more viewership. That's the best way to do it. Letting these two morons, and yeah, I call them morons, ruin the Acolyte press by letting Leslie run rampant and discuss anything that comes to her silly little mind. And then Amandla, the same thing. Keep your narratives away from what your work, right? Don't bring your narrative to work, no matter what you feel. Oh, well, they don't like me because I'm a woman and because I'm black. No, they don't like you because the show didn't do as well as you wanted it to do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of holes, and there's a lot of stuff I thought that the wire work was garbage. Taking all that Matrix wire work was just not a good way to bring in a show that you needed to do well.
See, I liked that stuff, and I wish that fans could also get used to more of that, because there's a lot of force sensitive abilities they'll never be able to show in that type of a light. And we used to accept things like that. Like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was one of the best martial arts films of all fucking times. And the two scenes where they used the slow motion the most was like her ascending the stairs and the kick off of the bridge, and I thought they were great. I mean,
the bridge was great. I think, again, I feel like George Lucas's blueprint for actors in Star Wars should be more utilized. Using that actress with that wire work screamed The Matrix. That's all
what's
anybody
wrong
thought
with
of.
that?
It takes you out of
Shit's
that moment.
fire though.
But
Like,
it takes
they
you
did
out
it
of the
in
moment.
movie, and it's
The reason
like,
it was
I
so
don't know.
good with the other
a
two
Shill.
actors, right? The reason it was so good in the bridge scene is because those are two actors that you've never seen do wire work like that, right? The minute I saw her doing that wire work in that bar, I was like, oh, hi, Trinity. I didn't know you were a Jedi, right? And that's me talking. And I'm like, I'm positive about everything. I just think using that actress for that character was a bad idea in general, regardless if she died in the first scene. I think it's just...
That's hilarious, because not that I don't like those movies. I think they're great, but even knowing who she was, and like, my first thought was not, oh, this is Trinity. Granted, 100%, that was definitely a Trinity ass scene, but I didn't even see that until you said it right now, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, now go watch it again, and all you're going to see is
sure,
Trinity,
but
right? If you just had watched the Matrix movies within the last 6 months, that's all you're going to see is Trinity doing wire work.
I think the highlight of that show was the dude that played the villain.
Absolutely.
That was the coolest part of the show. And it's
my guy from The Good Place.
Yeah, I wish they just would have focused it. I don't know. There was a better way to tell that story, basically.
The thing is that they were trying to...
Maybe without the We Are One.
They wasted too much time dragging out the sister story when, like I said in my stream, like I've recorded reactions of each of the episodes, and literally after the first episode going into the second, because they released both the same night, I'm going, this is the same chick, right? And then like the second episode, they kind of reveal the sister, and it's like you get a little bit more, and you're like, oh, maybe they're not the same. But they dragged it out the entire freaking season. They dragged out what's his name's character. I can't even think of it right now. The dude that was the protector or the guardian of the one chick.
Mm-hmm.
They dragged out his thing the entire season. Literally, they waited till like the last episode and a half to really fully explain what his whole deal was. And it was like, you guys dragged out all of this stuff that's like almost non-important. Like, it is important to the characters' developments.
Here's the thing. If it's one season, it's wrong. If they do another season, it's perfect, right? Yeah. Because you're building and building and building a pearl here, a pearl there. You're building. If they do thank you. If they do another season, then it's a brilliant way to tell the story on an intro for characters we've never met, right? This isn't the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This isn't the Boba Fett series. This isn't even the Mandalorian series where we know about the Mandalorians. We know about a little of this, a little of that. This is a timeline we don't know anything about with characters. The only two characters in the whole thing that anybody can remember is Kiadi-Mundi and Yoda, right?
And Plagueis, but even then, a lot of
and
casuals
Plagueis,
won't.
right? But if this season, if it only does get one season, and Disney has never officially said it's canceled. They've pulled merch, they've pulled back and stopped letting them talk about it, but they've never officially come out and said the Acolyte series is 100% canceled and off the books. They haven't said that yet. So until they come out and say that officially, I'm still hopeful for a second season that kill the sisters, right? Kill them in the first scene, right? Plagueis comes to get his new apprentice. Boom, done. Girls are dead. Checkmate. Let's go on to Plagueis and Chimere and build that story on kurtosis, on all this cool shit that they gave us, because they gave us a lot of cool shit. But if it's one series, it's a failure upon a failure. But if they're smart, they do a second season. It focuses on Plagueis and Chimere. Then it's brilliant because you told a story that introduced a new time frame with new characters, and then you let us into a second singer that could be a banger of a Sith story. What a great way to do it. But it's only successful.
My only argument or say against that, not even against it, with it, don't kill him in the first season or the first scene. But continue. This is my thing. There does need to be building in stories. There does, but they did way too much building for the what they promised.
They didn't think the audience was smart enough to understand what was going on, and Leslie basically she mansplained it to us. Right? In all of the all of the grossness, Leslie Headland mansplained the Force and Star Wars to us. That is exactly what happened. Oh, we got a new member.
She shall suffer the same.
And he canceled himself out.
I was going to say, apparently new members mean we
He
lose our
said
host.
he's got to time himself out for 5
Only
seconds.
room for
See, I got so excited. I had to get out of here. I had to run around and high five everybody. Sorry about that. Yeah, she just hates the stories. I agree. Look, I mean, it's tough because
They put a Rancor to sleep.
yeah, Grogu was the best. Yeah, I mean,
Every
I
time
think
Sheev gets his red, you need to play that clip.
I got to start clipping more of the fun clips. The Scotty doesn't know is on the way. There's more on the way. I just got to clip some stuff. But I mean, really, the only way that show is a complete bust is if they don't do a second season, and given the opportunity to clean it up. This show's cute. This show's fun. This show's ridiculous. This show is. If the little kid inside of you isn't having a great time with the fact that you would react the same way getting into a what do I even call that? Getting into the weapon system of a starship after never seeing a starship or a weapon system, you would be like, cool, I'm gonna shoot some X-Wings. I don't know what they are. Right. And so I think the joy in that, sidebar, we need a new director. Gunner seat. Thank you. Getting in a gunner seat for the first time as a 10-year-old. I'm sorry, that and actually firing live rounds like a game, you would be doing the same thing. Right. So until we see this guy with a lightsaber, I'm cool with just the scoundrel Jedi that Ezra Bridger could have been. Right. Because this is the exact character Ezra Bridger could have been without Kanan. So, and I love that they're exploring this side of somebody that might not have gotten the opportunity to be a Jedi, right? So, Headland season. Honestly, I think they need a new director. But a Hayden and Ewan season two would be amazing. I got a story for that too, but I'm just saying. I don't think if they do a season 2 of Kenobi, I don't think they use Hayden. Other than maybe some flashbacks of Clone War stuff or something along those lines. But I don't think they use Hayden as much as Vader in a season 2 of Kenobi. That's just me. Let's see. Star Wars politics. This show is all of, they said it was going to be, now if they were going to say it was the greatest children's space adventure. Yeah, I mean, look, they didn't come out and say this is going to be the greatest show ever. They just said it's going to be fun. Have a good time. Yeah. We got Goonies in space. I mean, it's like Goonies, Lost in Space, what feels like maybe Indiana Jones. And I mean, there's so much, Pirates of the Caribbean. There's so much in this that I think everybody's having a good time with it. So, I mean, anybody having a bad time so far?
Nope.
Not
Nope.
at all.
There's some crazy theories out there. I'm gonna drop one on you.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Put it.
So what if the what are they calling the supervisor, the person running the
Yes,
show?
the supervisor.
What if that person ends up being a droid?
Like
And
an
what if
assassin?
the entire planet is just being controlled by droids because droids figured out how to hide from the rest of the galaxy?
Okay.
In 2023, Charles Soule wrote a Star Wars comic about a droid that did a little revolution type thing like this and led a bunch of other droids to overthrow people. So just as a way to like lock the planet down and make sure
I mean,
no one
if you really-
disrupts what they're doing.
if
and
you
they're
really
just
think about it,
living.
There's no independence. They really don't have any independence, right? If you
The humans are controlled by the droids, not allowed.
well,
to
no, I
tell
mean
them
they don't
what-
even drive themselves. They just get in cars on rails,
Yep,
right? They don't.
that's what I was saying.
They don't assess what they want to do with their lives. They're told this is what your aptitude is. This is what your abilities are. This is what you're going to do. They don't give them any freedom, right? They are basically working for the overlord droids. Yeah, exactly. So, Maui Wowie theory, is that what we're talking about? Are they? Did anybody see any ganja in this show? I didn't see any Maui Wowie.
I don't know about that.
Even the two moms so concerned about their daughter. Anyone who hates that is just sexist, homophobic monsters. No, I can't believe you would even say something like that.
It didn't take out.
All right, so let me see this real quick.
See what I say?
Yeah. I'm downloading it now. Let me, I'm
I
gonna
keep
do
trying
it.
to send them or like present them, and they're only like 2 seconds, so it won't let me do it.
Yeah, you gotta put them in the brand tab. You gotta add them.
I don't have it.
Yeah, I know you don't have access. So here. But yeah, I mean, look, I didn't know who was directing this. I love that. I really like this director. I didn't know I liked this director until I liked this director.
Spider-Man.
But yeah, I mean, this has been it's been a fun adventure. Like I said, I don't know if you watched the new Lost in Space. This has that feeling. This has a Stranger Thing vibe. I mean, I think everybody's kind of just enjoy. I can't stand the hypocrites. Well, then you should definitely stay off of Star Wars. The droids are all trading and everything. They censor the news. They don't even tell the residents about Star Wars. Exactly. So
With the Jedi, at least.
well, but they give him all these Jedi tales, but they don't tell him Alderaan was destroyed. There's just a lot of weird shit going on. I want to know more about this 1984 society that's going on because it's crazy. But what are the predictions? Are we predicting? Are we going to get to see the Overlord droid? Is this going to be like with the Wizard of Oz, where there's one guy behind the curtain calling the show, or is this going to be like the protocol droids, or the droids that we see leading the Separatist army?
I feel like it's more of a planetorial thing. Like everyone on the planet is in on this, or like, for whatever reason gets in on it, but it definitely could be more of a droid thing. I kind of like that theory too.
It makes almost sense because, like, how else do you keep this a secret that long? Because
Yeah, and my thing that was weird in the beginning was just like, how do you get these kids and asking them what they want to be to grow up, and obviously they know about the whole great works that the society runs on, but it's like, how do you go from as a kid being like, oh, like this kind of stuff, to being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna conform into this society that keeps us isolated? Like that's like weird to me.
Yeah, it just seems like the credits keep popping up every episode. It's the credits pop up. We get a really good look at them. They really emphasize on the credits. Now we get this story from Kim about how there were these secret places, these special places where they had all these treasures and all this stuff, and that they were one by one destroyed. And this is the last one kept in secret. Who's keeping that secret? Whose secret is this? Like, where did that cloth come from? Where did that story come from?
Yeah, what are these other planets?
Exactly.
The
That's
Old
what I want to
Republic that
know.
got destroyed, bro.
If
Do we know for sure the Old Republic that they're talking about is like
No.
Knights of the Old Republic?
No, we don't. That's the thing.
So here's the
They
thing.
haven't specified.
Here's
haven't
the thing,
specified.
though. So here's the thing, though. We as a fandom collectively need to make a choice because
Ooh, we
I'm
got a
seeing
one
these guys. I'm seeing people out there that are literally like, well, I think what they're referring to as the Old Republic is like the prequel because to them that's like their Old Republic,
is.
and so now we're just like, I don't like it. I fucking hate it. Anything can be the Old Republic now. Anything can be the New Republic now, based on your point in history, because these people were frozen in time. I
Well,
think
right.
when they say Old Republic credit, they mean Old Republic credits, and when they say the Republic, they mean like you can't do this shit with Star Wars. We
the
have
Galactic
proven
Republic
time and
and the
time
Old
again that
Republic.
we're smarter than them, and they're not smart enough to write these stories.
Well, okay, so here's the first question. How are they destroyed? Is that Death Star? Is that the Nile? Is that like what number one, what time frame, what weapon of mass destruction are we talking about? Are we talking about planet Ilum? Are we talking about Star Destroyer base? Star Killer base? Like
That's not even around yet, as far as we know.
absolutely
What I'm
is
talking about would be like the
isn't.
great
Absolute that
Sith
you're
and
correct. That
Jedi
absolutely
War.
isn't around yet.
The Empire's whole MO was
A
just
booby
stripping
plate?
resources from planets. So that's not what they were going to do if they found one of these planets.
These
Well-
kids didn't know anything about the prequels. They didn't know anything about any of that stuff.
But yet they're
Well,
getting
that's not necessarily true.
well, I mean, we don't
They
know.
had knowledge and databases of Coruscant and Alderaan, which we know for a fact they don't have Imperial knowledge because Alderaan's gone.
Right. But at the same time, Coruscant was around during the High
Coruscant's been around
Republic,
since the High Republic, if
and
not way
was
before.
Alderaan
they're
around during the High
core
Republic.
worlds, so they're like some of the first.
Right,
Like
so-
Tython is also a core world.
Right.
Alderaan's old as shit.
Right. So these are two old systems. This is an old system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the likelihood is that it could be Old Republic from the show we just saw from Acolyte times, and that's the vibe I keep getting. Except
That's High Republic, sure.
it's just that's what I mean. But here's the thing: Old Republic. Here's the thing: when the Empire, when we go to Episode 1 and we're on Tatooine, Watto refuses to take Imperial credits or to take Republic credits, right? So he won't take those Republic credits. Then we get to the Imperial times when Republic credits are useless. Then we get to after Republic time or after Empire times and Imperial credits are useless, right? So but these guys are like swooning over these credits,
Old Republic credits.
right? Which makes it seem like you guys are saying like these are gold coins found in
10,000 years old.
potentially, right?
Did
what
they
I'm
say
saying.
ancient at one point?
No, they just say Old Republic, and they all look at them like
What
it's
they said was, "Where'd you get these Old Republic credits? These mint
these mint Old Republic credits." And that's
so
the thing
that's
is,
where I'm like,
has this society been
gotta be.
like this for 10,000 years? That's the question, right? Or for 1,000 years? Where were we in the Acolyte? Is that
100.
1,000 years? 100
No,
years?
it's like 100.
Okay, so is this 100 years before the Republic that we know?
Not the show.
This planet.
Oh,
Like,
no,
where did
that's
they?
the
Where did
question.
they get?
Where
cut
did they
off?
break off?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
my
it's-
question.
To me, it could be the High Republic, to your point, because that is technically a republic.
And 100 years is
But
not a long time.
The only real ones, in my opinion, are either the Old Republic is in the Galactic Republic that we all know and love from the prequels, or the Old Republic from KOTOR, like the Old Republic.
Right.
And nothing else really makes sense. High Republic, that's a bit of a reach.
I mean, 100 years is a long time.
And in the Star Wars universe, sure, it's the same argument that is technically the Old Republic to them if you look at it from a certain point of view. But I feel like the Galactic Republic would be more of a Old Republic to them because that was the most recent Republic, and then the Old Republic being the actual Old Republic. No, the great work
being said over and over again for any High Republic fan is just like, what?
Right. I mean, that makes your little antennas go. Your little antennas will start wiggling as soon as you hear the words "great work." That it's, to me, I could be totally wrong. I usually am. To me, it seems like all signs point to the High Republic era. Whether it's 100 years ago or
even the mural
900 years ago, right? Because you got to think where we find the High Republic story in Acolyte, that is still 900 years of peace, right? So they could have branched off. They were
building the hyperspace routes during the High Republic,
right? So at any point there, and that's where this little owl chick is like, I have all the hyperspace routes because I have this giant telescope that helped map them. So it seems to me all signs are pointing to the High Republic, and that we only saw them 100 years. We only saw the Acolyte 100 years ish before the birth of Anakin Skywalker, right? So let's call it, or whatever, 119 years before the Battle of Yavin, right? But ultimately, there could be 900 years before that. At any point of that 900 years, they could have broke away. They could have been
the mural
broken
is
away.
Important as to when they broke away and like who those people are. I think there was some sort of an agreement made.
Yes, from now on, KG, that is Kim is called Miss Hooters. That's it. Thank you. Checkmate.
Nice.
That is Miss Hooter now. Yes.
Hootie hoo.
Checkmate. Hootie hoo. Oh, and a lot of people aren't well versed in the High Republic, and that's why these pearls slip by. Right? That's why these little pearls slip right by everybody, is because nobody is versed in the High Republic except for fucking Scotty here, right? Who is this High Republic expert. So that's why the more I look at the evidence, the more it just feels like that 1,000 years of peace before the Empire, right? It just seems like that's such a long period of time for something to get lost, right? Whereas 10,000 years, that doesn't seem like a society that's 10,000 years old.
No,
right?
To me,
that seems like
it seems like it would be hard for them to be around since the Old Republic or even the High Republic and not be noticed. But also, now that I'm thinking,
it doesn't have to be. It could be 50 years before we see Anakin. It doesn't have to be this stretched out. Oh, they did it 900 years ago. They could have broken away right before.
That's a different time period. That would be the Galactic Republic that I'm talking about, which is the closest one. But I did just think, what if one of these other planets that is on the Great Work, or not the Great Works, but like this, the 5 mysterious planets that Kim was talking about.
The 9.
Is there 9? I thought there was only 5 of them. Okay, sheesh. I need to rewatch the episode again already.
Maybe it's
what if Lyra's
Jedi
is one of those? Because she talked about how they're like covered by gas and stuff, or what, one of them.
The nebula.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, what if Lyrasan is one of them?
And where is that? What is that?
That's
the planet where the Lasat are from.
That's the Lasat.
It's covered by gas and everything.
You have to watch Rebels again. It's covered by the nebula. It's hidden by the nebula.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, it could be Tython. It could be Ilum. It could be,
well, it's not Tython, or it's neither.
It could be. We don't know how old this is.
Stop it. What are you doing?
No, but you guys were the ones that were talking about the core worlds.
But we've seen these other planets that you're mentioning, and we've flown through them. People know they exist. They're sending Jedi kids there to get their kyber crystals. Like, What are you getting at here?
But
They
it
were
was
jewels,
only-
but that doesn't necessarily mean they're hidden.
But it wasn't. Yeah, but it
This
wasn't.
place is not known by anybody.
Ilum wasn't known to anybody but the Jedi.
But she didn't say that they were all hidden. She said they were all the jewels of the old
The jewels of the old Republic, and
It
didn't
doesn't
name
necessarily
any of
mean
them.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
was she talking about that map as the jewels of
She
the old
said-
Republic or
she
the
definitely
archives?
said that they were hidden.
Yeah,
She said all of them were hidden.
She said all of them were hidden until they were destroyed.
Yes.
I gotta go
So
back.
definitely
again,
said something along those
Lyra
lines.
saw it. I mean, these are the only two we can really place in a hidden perspective that we've seen in the universe, right?
That's why I thought it was
Exegol. Exegol was technically hidden, right? I mean, there's a couple there, but I mean, ultimately, was this planet that is hidden? Who hid it? Is the first question, right?
Yeah.
Like, was this hidden by, the Republic itself? Was this what is his name off the top of my head right now?
They know of the Republic, so it had to be.
Well, they know of a Republic.
Yeah. So
But was it them who hid them, or was it maybe something like Sifo Dyas who did something like this in secret, right?
No.
Like, was this a Sith thing? Could this be a connected back to Plagueis, right? And that is this how the Mune amassed their fortune, right? Like, there's so many ways this could play out still. It's still in its infancy, and I love the speculation because that many people are into it. Oh, there's a
I
Purgle
think.
tide.
I think that the main reason that this planet has to have been hidden this entire time, and potentially 10,000 years, like thousands of years, is because it's referred to as literal treasure planet. Like, this lady called it oh yeah, you're from the planet of eternal treasure. Like, where this myth or legend was created is another thing too. We've seen in the trailers, we see them walk into this massive room with all the gold and everything. Like, is that really what this is? Is that really where we're going here with this? They're like funneling gold out somehow, and I don't know. I feel like one planet with a controlled population, maybe the droids are helping control this population. They're not allowed to have a certain amount of kids. Like, we don't know what the regulations are, but with droids controlling a planet, they could live there forever and never worry about resources, never worry about needing anything, really.
So the question is this planet here theirs that's protected by a barrier? And the rest of these are...
I was looking at this right now, and right there it says planets of wonders hidden for their protection. So that's why it was hidden in the first place, was for their own protection. And these planets were all planets of wonders.
Who hides them?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. So it's
Which,
old,
honestly,
old. That's what I'm thinking.
I would say, yeah, honestly,
That's why I'm
now
saying
that
High
I'm
Republic.
rereading this, High Republic could make sense because of the whole great works thing that you're talking about. And it's possible that part of those great works was hiding all of these planets for their own protection, potentially. But
when everything went to shit towards the end of the High Republic, maybe this was like their last ditch effort to hide things from whoever.
Well, this is why I feel like the government of this planet knew what was under there and stopped a division and said it was gas, and that they've
Neil
been
look really sus in this point in time.
right. He's like
Like, he knows something. Like,
well, that's the thing is Neil's species was at the beginning of the deal for the barrier, right? It
I mean,
seemed like
so were the humanoids.
but it seems like one of his direct descendants. We don't see, there's not 50 elephant boys running around. There's one family of elephants, right? Talking elephants. So what if his family is told a different legend that they have to keep quiet? And that's why he looks so guilty right here, that he's already heard about this. And
he
that
knows
his
the
parents
truth of the
in that
planet
room-
or
that
something.
his family knows about this because they were there when the initial deal was made, and that his parents tell these stories maybe at bedtime. Maybe he's heard of this at like a bedtime story that his parents said he doesn't tell his friends because he doesn't want his friends to make fun of him for getting bedtime stories. But maybe he's heard this and that's why he looks so like uninterested or like quiet because maybe he knows something he's not supposed to. Right?
Neil sus. And that's why they want us to love Neil so much.
Yeah. Okay, see, your home has been purposely hidden from the rest of the galaxy. Right? And we're gonna
Does
play,
she even know why? She doesn't know why.
we're gonna play it. Fuck it. We get Nox, we get Noxed.
No, my dear boy. You see, your home has been purposely hidden from the rest of the galaxy.
Pause.
Rest of the galaxy. So the entire galaxy, and there's no map.
There is no map to add at.
No map. So no star maps. So this is almost like a Dooku thing where somebody went into the archives and erased Camino, right? That's exactly how this. Oh, Camino, hidden planet. Hidden from somebody.
No, this scroll depicts the jewels of the old republic.
Okay, so the planets are the jewels of the old republic.
Yeah.
Of the old republic. They keep saying old republic.
In caps.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, it's
Well,
capital.
O and R, but not all caps.
Yeah, I mean. Like,
Well, okay,
it's not
yes.
just-
The Jewel of the Old Republic is more like a title for a book, but cool. We'll go with it.
Planets of wonders kept hidden for their protection. Long ago, they were all destroyed, except for one.
Long ago.
Long
That
ago.
helps. That helps put it
Long
in
ago.
perspective. That does
Right?
help put it in
19
perspective.
years is not long ago. 25 years is not long ago, right? That's
Neil's like,
not
"Oh,
long
my
ago
goodness."
for somebody of her
Hey, man.
species. Her
I wasn't
species
even
would have been-
alive 25 years. I was barely
Right, but
alive.
this old lady looks like this Miss Hooters looks like she's been around for, more than 100 years, right?
And you look in Neil's eyes.
And you look
I'm
at
gonna
those old
take that.
eyes. Look at that. Look at those
She knows.
sad old eyes. Been in this hut all by herself, like the Dark Crystal lady. Come on.
Now only remembered in children's stories, pirate shanties, and rumors believed by fools.
Okay, there you go. Children's stories. That's why I'm telling you, Neil knows more because his parents tell their kids that story. That's my call. Is that he looks so suspect right here. Look at that little suspect face. Look at him, little suspect chicken.
No.
Yeah, Old Republic. This is either High Republic or, like Scotty's saying, 10,000 years old.
Something else
Probably
someone's
those
saying
deals.
about something else that someone's saying about that room specifically is that it is coded very High Republic, and it looks like the Kobo Observatory
Yes.
in the Jedi Survivor
Yes,
video game.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So hear me out on this too, because there was the hidden, and I'm trying to Google it. I can't figure it out, but Dagon Gara had that hidden world that you could only get into with his little device. You could only navigate through that nexus or whatever it was.
And it was
That one of those Old Republic planets?
right.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. This could go
Could
back.
the third game tie into some of this?
Yes, dude. Yes, they've
they
all been
did.
tied into it.
They did just hire another actor who's friends with Cameron Monaghan. So
Damn. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
It's getting spicy.
it's spicy, man.
I wish I could remember the name of the planet.
which one?
Because it's where Dagon wanted to build his Jedi temple.
Oh, whoa.
It wasn't Kobo.
Tanalorr.
It was like
Tanalorr.
Tanalorr.
Yep.
There you go, chat. Let's go. Was Tanalorr one of these planets on that script?
See, this is what I was hoping this show was going to do. I was hoping this show was going to start playing this evolution, man. Like this is
Yeah, wind the clock back, bro. Just keep winding it back. Get me through the High Republic. Just keep winding it back till we get to Bane and all the homies.
I mean everything, dude. I mean
I mean, we're getting Dawn of the Jedi, right? Like that's
Yeah,
still. a
I was
thing.
just say go all the way back there.
Go,
It's
I mean,
gonna happen.
but why couldn't? Yeah, I mean, this is
Supposed to.
this feels so. With I don't need laser swords.
Damn, Sky Wars Academy. Good pull.
Yeah, good pull, right? I don't need and goal. I don't need laser swords all the time to make something feel Star Wars. And I'm so sick of hearing that narrative. Well, this doesn't feel Star Wars. Really? Banging the homies. Yes, Jedi Mike. For life. Banging the homies.
His old lady's like, what the?
She gone, baby. She in Europe. There ain't
Oh,
nobody
that's
home
right.
but the cats, girl.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing but
Banging
you
the
and
homies
the
for life. That's old school. If you don't know about banging the homies, that's old school. Jedi Mike is pulling from the archives, man. He is pulling straight from the archives, man. Guys, don't get your hopes up. Still don't know who runs the story in these series. They don't go deep. Yeah, look, I agree.
Linda.
Listen, Linda, listen. Yeah, I agree, but I'm always hopeful that the writers, and especially now with the word on the street is that
It
Disney,
says executive producer Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
That's all you got to tell me.
Look, with Star Wars, I feel like I've heard rumor that they're starting to legit focus group fans, right? Not just randoms, not just internal focus groups at Disney and Lucasfilm. Word on the street is that Lucasfilm is pulling from the fandom, giving opportunities to the fandom to come watch stuff early, sign the NDAs, not post anything on YouTube until it comes out. And this feels like they're getting more help, right? Because this feels good, right? The timing is really good too. This is the first show I feel like I get to the end of the episode and I'm like, fuck, that's it? Right? Yeah, because they're short, but the timing and the way they're ending episodes is getting better. This is the best show ending episodes they've done yet, in my opinion. Right? Every time at the end of the episode, I am just sitting there going, damn it, I want more. Right? They're leaving me salivating at the end of these episodes for more.
This
Right?
ending felt very Disney, but I loved it. The way she was just like,
At least they didn't close in on a circle, man.
Like, yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, timing wise, I think this is the best show. This show has the best timing out of all the ones they've done so far. That's just my opinion, but pacing, everything, timing.
Oh, yeah.
It's timed like a TV show. It felt like it was actually shot as an episodic, not shot as a movie that they cut into an episodic. This is Disney's problem, which surprises me because they did all of this wizardly warlock shit with Selena Gomez and all these television shows for years with live action, right? They're just actors. That's what we call live action because it's Star Wars, but it's just acting. It's just a television show. And they did all these Hannah Montanas and all of these shows for years, and they shot them like TV shows, and they cut them like TV shows, and they were TV shows. And then they started doing Star Wars, and they're like, we don't know how to cut TV shows anymore. We know how to shoot movies, and we shoot movies, and then we make them into TV shows because we put times on the end of them, and that's it. And we forgot how to make TV shows. And then this one comes up, and they're like, someone in the back, some intern's like, I remember how to shoot TV shows. You should hire John Watt. Just saying.
Marvel had the same problem, man. There's not a Disney supervisor that knows
Dude,
that,
but this show gets it. This is the best timed show I've seen Disney do with Marvel or Star Wars.
I think since they had Disney Plus, they realized they need like actual showrunners.
I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know if it's the director that gets it.
Oh, I mean,
I don't know if it's
John
the
Watts,
executive
right.
producer that's not Dave Filoni that gets it. I don't know who they brought into the mix this time. What piece on the map is different right now?
Think after the strikes or whatever, that actually was a product of that. If I'm not wrong,
I hope
They
so.
like, designated showrunners and.
I hope so because that's how I've always done TV.
The writer strikes or whatever.
And I see. I didn't watch Agatha, so I can't say how that was paced. But in my opinion, this is the best paced television show that they have done yet. It feels like they shot it like a TV show, not like a movie.
Both shows have good pacing.
Yeah, see. Let's see. Politics says, I'm just going to keep my expectations surface level. At any moment it can turn. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And like, they make me think and theorize though, but they never go too deep. Look, that's how this channel is, dude. I leave my expectations at the door, right? When we push start live, my expectations are left behind because that's what ruins Star Wars for you. You expect them to give you something. They don't give it to you. You shit on Star Wars for it. That's the problem with the fandom. End point, period. No more needed dialogue on that. So come here because that's what we do here. We leave our expectations out there and we come here and we bring proof and we bring facts and we bring real. We don't bring that baggage bullshit that they didn't do it my way. Boba wasn't portrayed right. Vader wouldn't have done this. Obi-Wan didn't do that. Fuck you. Until you're in the writer's room, fuck off. Leave your expectations out there until you're in the writer's room.
And if you want to be in the writer's room, I heard that Star Wars Eclipse is still looking for a lead writer on the video game, and that job posting's been open for 3 months, guys. They've been looking, so go apply.
I have no experience. Will they take that?
I mean,
3 months, bro.
Yeah, no expectations for life. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. I mean, not expectations, but you guys are digging it. You guys are. I mean, what do we get? 8 episodes, so we got 5 more.
This is actually like this next week is usually when it turns for the worst, though. It's a good point.
True. Well, I mean,
8 total episodes, right? This will be mid-season.
Yeah, this will be
Next week.
yes, episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This will be mid-season, and Jude Law said that 7 is his favorite because we learned something about his character. I wonder
Excellent.
what that could be.
He was on the path.
He was the fucking guy in the helmet at the beginning of the show.
Well, we know that. I think that's kind of
That's
our
what he's
was
talking.
already-
I'm telling
If-
you, that's
No,
what he's
if he's-
talking about.
That was
and all of
already. They literally revealed that already in this episode. There was like 4 people that called it that literally
Silvo.
said
"Yeah, you're right. You're right."
Silvo escaped,
okay.
and then
Okay.
later
Second
on in
time
the
you forgot
episode,
about
the
that.
owl chick called
Oh,
him.
I'm telling you, I'm Okay,
She
okay,
called him Crimson
okay.
Jack.
No,
too.
that was for him. That was for him trolling your ass. That wasn't for you trolling him. That was for him trolling you.
I guess I'm trolling because they did confirm that.
No,
so
he
anyway,
is, Scotty
okay,
doesn't
so
know.
7
7
is
I'm
is
pretty
gonna
sure it's
be
the second time he forgot that.
7's gonna be what kind of force sensitive person he is, and the
right,
history
and then
of his
but
force
6 is the
sensitivity.
favorite for the kids. So if you watch
Okay.
the interviews, they said collectively 6 is their favorite.
Mm.
7 is his favorite. So
Mhm.
what do we get and where, right? Like
He
that's,
said 7, you learn a lot about my character in not a lot amount of time.
see, and I feel
Right.
like that's just going to be blip, like
Yeah.
almost like back to flashbacks, right? Back to black.
All I
what
can
if-
think in
yo,
my head
what
right
if
now
we
is like a
get
woke
a-
joke. Like instead we're gonna.
What if we get an Order 66 flag?
That's what I'm saying. Or the path, or how his mother or father was killed while he was on the path with Quinlan Voss, right? Like, who knows? They could give us
I know
some really
mommy
cool
and
shit.
daddy, but-
See, this is how far we reach, chat. Buckle up.
He's Obi's brother. That's a big
Yeah.
reveal. 6 is the Purgo reveal. Bryce Dallas Howard did episode 6, so that is the one I am honestly looking the most forward to out of all the episodes. Bryce
That's gonna
Dallas
be the one
Howard
with
working with
slug
John
worm
Watt.
thing, right?
Forget it, man. Like that's like fucking cupcakes and ice cream, man. Those things belong together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Bryce Dallas Howard's episode because so far, in my opinion, she's made the best episodes of all the series she's been involved in.
Does she usually do episodes tying back to like Bo-Katan and them?
Well, that's what she's usually done. Is the Frog Lady was her episode. What of the Mando season 1 did she do? I know she did Frog Lady. I know she did episode season 3. She did an episode also.
See, they did this right though, because I don't really have any expectations. Like I have hopes, like bring
Right,
Hondo,
and
but that's about
nothing
it. I don't think
nothing
it's
goes
gonna happen.
further than hope, man. Light up the darkness. Right? I mean,
What's going on over there, Chief?
is the dog getting all up in your business?
No, it's just my cousin sent me something. I was laughing.
What? No. Oh, okay. She did the
Recast
Lizzo
the
episode.
Lizzo episode.
Lizzo episode was fire. The fight
Oh,
scene
yeah?
in the Bo-Katan Lizzo
No, it
episode.
wasn't.
Get rid of Jack Black and Lizzo in that episode, and it's fun as fuck. Right? You get Mando getting to beat the crap. Mando is kicking droids. Right?
There was a lot of cool droid stuff in the episode,
chase
actually.
a chase scene through a cool city we've never seen. The Mando on Mando crime and the Darksaber, like that was one of the sickest episodes. Get Lizzo out of it and get Jack Black out of it. That was one of the sickest episodes of the series. I'm sorry. Like the return of the true Bo-Katan, like, dude, come on. That was a sick episode. And she is a master of Star Wars, man. Like, I'm sorry. She should have her own show. Right?
She should get a movie, probably.
I hope she gets parts in the movie. I hope she's there with them doing the movie because she's amazing.
Well, I'm saying she should get her own movie to work on, to be honest.
Dude, I would like to see her do a Boba season 2. I would like to see
Bro,
her
she
do a
should do the Rey
Kenobi
thing.
season 2, right? Like,
Are you kidding me? She'd be great for the Rey thing.
dude, she'd be amazing for the Rey thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know why they keep outsourcing these people. I don't know why they're bringing people
No,
like
it
Leslie when
doesn't
they
make
have
sense.
these amazing people in the fold already.
Her dad literally is one of a great director, so it's like,
Pioneered.
what are we doing?
Just
And her
what are we
uncle.
doing? Yeah.
Great actor.
What are we doing? I mean, she should have a Star Wars movie. Absolutely. All right, boys. It's late on the East Coast. I could see eyes starting to droop on the East Coast. I mean, we're probably going to game. I don't know. Maybe I'm up. I spent 8 hours in a car today, so I am hyped right now. So, yeah. So let's get out of here because I see Mafia's eyes are starting to. I can't keep them open anymore. All right. So what's going on? What are you doing, Scotty? What's going on this week? Are you doing any GTA? What are we
GTA's
diving
on
into?
hold for a little bit because we're getting big updates. We're
Oh,
getting,
the server?
Yeah, we're getting housing. We're getting drug game stuff too, I think. So different ways to make some money. But a new game, Path of Exile 2, I'm trying to stream this week. I got early access to it. It will be free to play on pretty much everything in like 6 months. So if you guys want to check this game out, it's like a Diablo killer, they're saying, or competitor to Diablo.
What's the other one you've been hyping up with me this week? Delta Force?
Delta Force is another free-to-play game too. It's a first-person shooter, similar to DMZ Call of Duty.
Fortnite also just came out with a first-person mode that we're going to be
Fortnite
checking out
trailer?
soon.
Crazy
Heard about
stuff.
Fortnite, dude, Epic Fortnite is coming out with some killer content right now. If you guys aren't in some of their modes, their zombie mode is crazy. Their Ninja Turtle mode is fucking
They're
awesome.
doing it's 5v5 tactical. It's called
5v5 tactical.
Fortnite Ballistic, and so it'll
Interesting.
feel like Valorant and Counter-Strike.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones game. I don't know if Matt is on the Indiana Jones game. I know X-Wing was playing it the other day. It looked fucking awesome. So I don't know.
I'm still mad that their marketing's so bad for that.
I know they awful, right?
I'm pissed.
Right.
Rivals is another one a lot of
Yeah.
people are playing. I'm down to get
He's
down on some
friends
of
on
that.
that.
If you guys want to get down, I just downloaded it for PlayStation. So if you guys want to get down on some of that, members, you're always welcome to reach out. If you guys want a game together, just reach out, give me your handles. Again, members, there's new content in the members area. If you are a Knight member, you get to send me the image you want in the emojis. I hope this guy down there doesn't become a member because I could see having to edit out some
Suggestions.
not PG emojis. I'm just saying. But yeah, if you send your logo, if you're a channel member and you
That
have
was
a
one
channel
time.
like these two, we'll put your emoji in the mix. If you are not a content creator and you want to send an emoji that you want on there, that's a new tier that we're issuing this week. Shivi, what you got going on this week?
Next week's episode, definitely go check out the Vader's Lair channel. Other than that,
You were gaming
There
yesterday,
was-
right?
I was gaming recently, doing some Black Ops on
Mm-hmm.
my Twitch channel. So go check out that. Go check out Sheav the Wise on Twitch, and also my other channel, Sheav the Wise, on YouTube too, because I'll definitely be doing some gaming there. But there was an update to Outlaws recently. Where,
DLC?
like, no, there's just a patch, and like they fixed some stuff around the end of November, I guess. And my cousin told me about it because he was pissed. He's like, "Bro, I
Yeah, I
basically
wasn't
did the." Well, he's like, he finished it, but he was like, "I played the whole game on hardcore basically because the new update makes it so that basically in the way it was before on the stealth missions, if you got caught, you had to restart the whole
Yeah.
freaking mission.
No, I remember.
essentially, or go back to the checkpoint. It's not like that anymore. They changed that to where even if you get caught, the mission's continuing. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Which
made it
honestly-
a little easier for the Muggles.
and I'll be honest, that's more realistic. Like it's
Yeah.
you're not gonna start the whole level. I kind of like it a little bit, but I'm gonna go play some Outlaws pretty soon. So throughout the next couple of days and leading into next week. So definitely that's what we got going on at the moment.
Mafia, what you got going on?
Sometime between now and the beginning of the year, I'm gonna drop a video about Ultimate Invasion comic from Marvel from like last year. And then I'm gonna start like weaving into like all the Ultimate comics that are out now. Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate
Iron Man.
Wolverine's coming out. Nah, it's just there's those three, and then there's the Ultimates and Ultimate Wolverine's coming out in January. And then What If is coming out the week of Christmas, so I'll probably drop some shorts or react to that a little
Oh,
bit.
another What If?
Yeah, last season. So
Okay.
I actually just pulled up when I was looking for clips. I found like one of me and Sheev from like 3 years ago. It's hilarious. Just looking at the background we had.
It's amazing how
Oh, yeah.
fast things change.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're going to like I said, we got in fact I have to go shoot my day 9 cuz I didn't do it today cuz I was on the road all day. So I have to go shoot my day 9 Lego Star Wars Advent 2024. Jabba's Barge was yesterday, which was pretty dope. I've been enjoying almost all of these that have come out have been pretty awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do with them when I'm done, but yeah, it's been fun. I gotta honestly put a shout out. I don't remember the channel name, but he's doing a Star Wars Advent 2 dressed as Palpatine, and that shit is fire. It is fire. Google that. Google that shit. I don't care if I don't get one more view on any of my shorts for that. I don't care.
Welcome to
Oh, he's got the mask. He's got the Palp mask. He's got the hoodie, like the cloak.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's fucking fire. He's got me all jazzed up for next year. Next year I'm going big. Next year we're doing some kind of mask or clone helmet or Boba. I don't know what, bro, but we're going big next year. I'm telling you, that was like I saw it and I was blown away. I was like, this dude wins. Checkmate. I honestly, I just want to open the whole thing now and be done because that dude wins the internet as far as I'm concerned. Like you win the internet. Congratulations. You know,
I'll hand you the title.
that's it. No, like, yeah, I mean, I concede. I could see that shit was fire. I'm telling you, get out there and watch it. I don't know who it is. Just type in Palpatine opens Advent Star Wars 20 Lego 2024 and it's fire. I recommend you give it a go. Yeah, get the memberships. Enjoy being part of the our little culture here. Also, go check out the other channel. The gaming channel is now more gaming centric. So not only gaming on blah 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 blah, but we're doing trading cards. So we're doing like 2 hour streams, ripping vintage packs for the most part. We might get into ripping some Star Wars packs if I can start finding some. But yeah, we're doing more trading card gaming over there. So get over there and check that out. We just sent 20 1990 NBA hoop cards to PSA. So those will be here at the beginning of February. We'll see where we end up. So yeah, the hot ones, Palps versus Vader, we might be able to do that. That video is coming out by the end of the year. It is a bitch to cut because we have 3 cameras and we were having a blast. So it's really hard to cut. So we're trying to get out. I can't flip them as fast as their editors do, but that is in the work. By the end of the year, you will have a Sheev on Hot Ones Crime. And you will see some hilarity if you remember Star Wars. Who is it? Skywalker's Academy. Do yourself a favor, get over to the members area, get into the video area, and watch the live because the whole live is on the members area. We're gonna edit the video for the Muggles in the non-member section. So get over there, get yourself a good laugh because the last 30 minutes are funny as hell. We both can't breathe.
No,
This dude's out of control. It's fire. So get over to the member section if you haven't watched it yet. Watch the live because the live will be way better than the edit because I'm gonna edit it down to about 10 minutes, but there's about an hour and a half worth of hilarity there. So do yourself a favor, get over there. Yeah, that's it. Everybody, thank you for being here. As always, don't forget, spay and neuter your pets, help control the pet population, and don't forget, life is short. That's why they call it a gift. That's why it's called the present. So do yourself a favor and act today. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. If you hate somebody, tell them you hate them. I don't care, but just be honest for today because tomorrow may not come. As always, may the force be with you. I want to thank my cohorters in crime, Scotty Hawks, Nerd Mafia, and Sheev the Wise. We will see you guys next week for the same thing at the same bat time on Monday at 7:30. Take care, everybody.